In this video, we're going to give you the details of Hotfix 4, which has been redeployed. There were some problems with this hotfix. We'll tell you about them, and then we'll tell you about what's in it. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Baldur's Gate 3. So this was initially deployed on 8/16/2023, kind of late in the day in America time, but then it had some errors and was taken away. And some people had issues with their saves not going through. They were grayed out, but this was unstable. And then it was reissued in the morning of 8/17/2023 U.S. time. So this is called Hotfix 4. There's also going to be a full update coming up that the Larian CEO or the studio head has talked about with thousands of updates. But this is just a hotfix. So here's the text of Hotfix 4 redeployed. Hello everyone. Yesterday we had a rollback of Hotfix 4 because of a rare compiler issue. To avoid this from happening again, we're changing the way we deploy patches. Players who have downloaded Hotfix 4 were unable to continue from their Hotfix 4 saves once we had rolled back the patch. This is not okay. Rolling back the patch in order to diagnose the problem and limit those exposed to it was the lesser of two evils. We truly appreciate your patience and understanding. The situation is remedied now with the re-release of Hotfix 4, but we recognize the frustration caused by this and want to apologize. That's why we're changing things up. All of you should now be able to continue your adventures, but essentially here's what happened. Hotfix 4 went through a rigorous QA pipeline and was confirmed as a candidate for release yesterday. However, we triggered a rebuild version at relatively last minute to change the version number. The version that was cooked was unfortunately plagued by compiler corruption, which was causing certain exceptions that normally wouldn't cause crashes to you. You guessed it, cause crashes. Since compiler issues like that are extremely rare, we weren't prepared for it. We should have been. We've messed up. It didn't help that it happened at the worst possible time of day, but luckily we have studios in multiple countries overnight for Europe. Our teams in Canada and then Malaysia worked to diagnose what went wrong, so the work could be redeployed in a fixed version of the hotfix. To avoid this from happening in the future, we'll make sure that any changes made to a future version candidates, no matter how small or innocuous, will always go through our full comprehensive QA pipeline, including the global in-house QA team, automated testing, unit tests, and save game compatibility testing. All right, so, and then yesterday they told you what was supposed to be in Hotfix 4, which is now live today. It initially went out on 8/16/2023 at 3:40 Pacific time, but it was actually redeployed. It doesn't say, but it was redeployed on 8/17. So there was a period in the evening and early morning hours on U.S. time where it wasn't actually out. So some people had grayed out saves for that. I did not personally, but I did have some crashing issues. So due to a build error causing new crash, we were rolled out back Hotfix 4 for the time being. We'll re-release it as soon as we fix the cause. So it's now re-released. If you save since updating, you won't be able to load those saves until we repatch Hotfix 4. So you should be able to get those saves now, but there might have been a brief period yesterday or early today where you didn't have it. Hotfix saves, you won't be able to load saves from today's Hotfix 4 until it's published live again. Sorry about the inconvenience. Okay, so hello everyone. Thanks to all of you. We even had a better second weekend on Steam than our first, taking us over 850,000 concurrent players on Sunday. We can't believe it, but we're firmly in the top 10 of most played games all time on Steam right now, and we're immensely grateful. All that said, Hotfix 4 is here, and we're taking aim at several crashes, bugs, flow issues, and companions who keep trying to sleep in, and all detailed below. Beware of spoilers. There's kind of like a lot of spoilers here, but I'll try to do the parts that don't have spoilers first, and then we'll get to the spoiler parts. As Sven mentioned on Twitter, up next on our roadmap is patch 1, larger than over 1,000 fixes and tweaks, followed by patch 2, which will incorporate some of the biggest requests we've received from the community since launch. And we'll see what Sven, the studio head, says. Sven Vinke, we're all enthusiastic about your feedback. It's rewarding. Our focus now is fixing issues in your report, but we're listening to suggestions. Current roadmap: A, hotfix 4, B, patch 1 plus 1,000 fixes, tweaks, C, patch 2. Later we will incorporate some requests. So there you go. That's what Sven said. Please reach out to our support team with further issues. We're busy working away on further patches and hotfixes, and your reports would make the world a difference. Thank you for playing Baldur's Gate 3. I actually was trying to submit a bug report yesterday and didn't submit it because they wouldn't allow me to submit a video file. I even edited down the video file so it would be really short, and it just kind of teed me off that I had to give them a picture of something that's really you can't convey by a picture. It really has to be conveyed by a video, that you couldn't upload one even if it was within their file size. So I just was kind of teed off by that. Basically there's an issue if you go to the Myconid colony, to the main merchant there, and you tell them about your problems with the worm in your head, then they have a fix, but that fix involves alchemy, and it actually locks your alchemy pouch. So you actually want to go back to any earlier save if you've done that. The first time it went through, and then we had the crashing issue, so I don't know if it's related to patch 4 or not. But anyways, that was my bug. I was going to report, but I didn't end up reporting it. Crashes and blockers. Fixed players getting stuck mid-long rest due to companions not waking up. Multiplayer. Fixed characters disappearing when disconnected and reconnected in split screen. Add a warning for hosts in multiplayer when clients join drop-in through character creation. Host must grant approval before new players join. That seems obvious. Fix the multiplayer versions servers on GOG. Okay, so here's the spoiler. Well, here's one that doesn't have a spoiler. Combat. Slightly increase Isabel's HP so she doesn't die as easily. Flow and scripting. Player resources are now correctly restored at the end of Act 2. And that's it for the non-spoiler portions. Here's the spoiler portions. Crashes and blockers. Fixed being able to long rest in the astral prism, potentially causing the portal to disappear. Fixed Orin getting pulled from her location in the Temple of Baal if the door was opened before killing Gortash in Worm's Crossing. Fixed script issue preventing some players from loading save games. Combat. Fixed a bug that would make Gortash join the combat taking place in Worm's Rock Audience Hall while he was in the office upstairs. Fixed Cruel Sting, adding additional psychic damage to attacks. So I think I had read about that Cruel Sting bug. This is kind of a nice sword. So I think that would be great if that was fixed. Fix the enemy of the absolute crime not clearing from player characters, resulting in a soft block when speaking to the Steel Watch. Fix the game thinking the Emperor had died in the Astral Prism when you healed a downed ally. Player resources are now correctly restored at the end of Act 2. Having dead party members no longer prevents you from entering the Astral Prism. Fix the bug preventing you from taking Raven Guard if you move to the camp in certain case. Hostages in the Iron Throne will no longer be stuck if you turn back and return again. Players modded or cheated save games with characters at level 13 or above can now travel to the House of Hope. Killing Anders will no longer make the other paladins leave the Toll House. Well, that's nice. I had killed Anders before and went back to an earlier save because I didn't want to lose the merchants. But the thing, I do find the kind of like their bug reporting process kind of annoying. They don't even tell you what they force you to put a file. You can't just explain the bug. And then they don't tell you like the files that are acceptable. They just tell you the file size that is acceptable. So like MP4s are not acceptable. Anything that's a video is not acceptable. Only pictures are acceptable. They don't even tell you the picture types that are acceptable, but I assume they'll take JPEGs and GIFs, but I have no idea. No idea. Anyways, so there you go. Hotfix 4 is live. We're going to get patch 1 at some point. We're on version 4.1.3645567. They have the weirdest version numbers. Anyway, subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Baldur's Gate 3.